Hey there, my Tyler Perry Sistas fans. It's your girl Barbie J here, and it is finally here. We are talking about the season 5 premiere of Sistas, episode 1, Pain and Suffering. And we all know what that pain and suffering was with Gary playing the games and Hayden suggesting he does that, yada yada yada. Anyway, okay, this was a pretty good episode. It was good, it could have been better if you ask me. But let me get on with my recap and review so you guys can put down in the comment section what y'all thought about the episode. Because truthfully, it's all about y'all and what y'all think. I love hearing what you think because sometimes it changes my mind the way we see things. We all see things differently. So it'd be cool if, we could all communicate and comment down there so Barbie J and know what y'all feeling. Anyway, it starts with Fatima telling Andy that Gary called her a biatch. And Andy's like, what? I'm going to show you a biatch. And so she leaves out her office. She ready to confront him. And Fatima's like, hold up, wait, I'm going to go with you. Let me take off my earrings first. She said, girl, please, we ain't going to be fighting in this office. She said, but I got to be ready, just in case. I was like, Fatima, you crazy. Stop playing. Then we got Karen. She in the hospital and Pam is with her waiting to hear from the doctor. Pam uses this moment to tell Karen just how much she admires her and looks up to her. And then Pam asks, who does she want her to call? You want me to call Aaron? She's like, no. You want me to call Zach? She's like, no. She said, well, at least let me call Andy and the girl. She's like, no. So Karen didn't want her to call nobody. So then all of a sudden, Karen's mother calls. And the way Karen answered, her mother could tell something was wrong with her baby. Because she's like, what's going on? I'm on my way. Because she could tell. A mother knows, y'all. Anyway, then we got Hayden and Gary. They talking smack about women. Oh, Lord, this was too funny. This one was funny because Hayden know he crazy. And they, hold on. Hold on, I had to drink some water because I started choking just thinking about this part with Hayden. He's so funny. So Hayden is saying he has so many that they women that they are all like Andy. He had so many women like Andy. And Gary's like, name one chick you had as bad as Andy. And he said the nerve to say Fatima. He had the nerve to say Fatima. What, is he kidding me now? But then he couldn't give Gary any details. Then Andy and Fatima come into the office. And then Fatima was going in on them when Gary told Andy he was suing her for the penthouse and the car and for pain and suffering. And Fatima's like, are you freaking delusional or something? She went off. And then Fatima and Hayden end up getting into it. And Andy said, hold up, this is not about y'all. It's about me and him. And she asked Fatima to step outside of the office because Fatima wanted to do something to Hayden. And then Andy's she sits down next to Gary. And she asked him a few questions like, do you think I'm a biatch because you told Fatima I was, and then you just let Hayden call me one. And he said, no, I didn't. And she's like, yes, you did. So then he started, it looked like though he was squirming in the seat and didn't want to look at her. Then he got up the courage to say, I'm talking with my attorney. And then Hayden said, and as his attorney, I need you to leave my office. And Andy asked him to look at her. She's like, look at me. But he couldn't. Gary couldn't look. And she said, we are wrong for each other. You know that. She told him that she sold her apartment because he put her in a bind, and she said she can defend these charges that he has against her, and she will win. And she will win. We know good and well. We all know because he put everything in her name, the car, the penthouse, and everything. But I don't know why he listening to Scary Gary's listening to the dumb Hayden. So she says she'll return the car and the penthouse if he'll just pay her back the taxes she paid for both of them. She said, is that fair? Hayden is shaking his head and Gary's looking at him, telling Gary to say no. So then he asked Hayden to leave. And then Andy and Gary talk as tears roll down her face. And she said, it's over between us. We're not good together. And then you see Gary, tears running down his face too. And she said she never wanted it. She never wanted those things at all. She just wanted him. And then she leaves out saying, please, no more sorries, because he was about to say sorry about something. Then we have Q talking to that stupid detective. I can't remember his name and I don't care. Who arrested Sabrina and Maurice. And he tells Q they got them and that they're going to let Q walk. And the police will need Q to testify in court. So he tells him now he got to go out and get a job or something and look like a respectable witness and stay out of trouble. I said, oh, come on. He's like, how am I do that? He needs the detective to help him get a job. Get a job. Unbelievable. He's like, I got to help you with that too. So he's telling him he'll call him tomorrow or something like that. And he'll have him meet with somebody to get a job. And I think that's when Q's going to get that job working at the airport. He probably going to get Zach's old job. Who knows? Anyway, at that moment, Calvin comes home and he's asking for Maurice and wanting to know why Q is there. Isn't he the one last season who wanted Q to stay there when Maurice was saying, oh, hell no? Wasn't he the one to tell him, let him stay here and in there? Tyler Perry, make it make sense. Come on, TP. It got to make sense because you keep changing the script and that's not right. You're trying to insult our intelligence. So he's telling Q he can't stay there. Now Q is being way too nice to Calvin by offering him food. So Calvin asks what's he up to, and then he says he's going to move his stuff out of the apartment because he don't want to be there with Q if Maurice said he could stay. And Q said, well, maybe you should do that. I said, what? Excuse you? Who the hell? So when Calvin's cell rings, he wants to know why he keeps getting a call from a corrections facility. Dummy, answer the damn phone. If somebody keeps calling you from there, that means somebody's trying to reach you from there. It could be important, dummy. Oh, God. And then he's saying the only criminal he knows is standing in front of him. I was like, come on. So then he puts his cell phone down on the counter and nasty ass Q gives him a fork with the plate of food and gives him a fork that he just ate off of. Nasty. And Cal was like, you just ate off that fork. He's like, I'll get my own fork. But who leaves their phone on the counter face up? People usually turn their phone down. I know that's what I do. And they usually don't put it down. Men usually have it in their pocket or something. I don't know. But anyway, then he puts it down and walks over to the counter and Q presses a button or two, probably, I think, turning down the volume so he doesn't hear the phone ringing. I don't know what he did to Calvin's phone. But anyway, then we have Karen's mother shows up at the hospital and she tells her mom that she's scared and that she wants that baby. Then she says she has to tell her mom, about not being sure who's the baby daddy. Because she had to tell her because her mother asked, where's the baby's daddy? And why he's not here with you? And then Karen's mom realized that her daughter was still in love with Zach. And she told her a story about Karen's father, whom she says she still loves but doesn't want him back. And her story was similar to what Karen went through with Zach. And then we move on to here, Fatima. She leaving work and runs into Andy. And she asks what happened in there. And Andy said, let's talk about that later. So Karen, Lord Jesus. So now Fatima's leaving. And next thing she turned around, Zach shows up and surprises her and wants to take her out on a date. So they hold hands and start to leave out and they run into Hayden, who has a problem with them being there, of course, because how is this criminal at this place of business? His place of business when he has a restraining order against him. I said, you had a restraining order against Fatima too, but it didn't stop your ass from going to her office bothering her. Now, did it, y'all? Did it bother him last season? No, it did not. So they all leaving and Andy says, bye girl to Fatima. Fatima said, bye girl to Andy. And Jack go, bye girl to Hayden. I was dying. I said, oh my God. I started laughing. I was like, bye girl. Anyway, then Andy told him to let it go. She said, Hayden, let it go. And Hayden said no. And she reminded him that Robin said to let it go. So he should just let it go. And added, when she was walking by, she added, and you need to get a life. I said, he sure do. He need to get a life. And then lying to Gary, talking about he got all these damn biatches, And then the fact that he keep calling all the women biatches is why he don't have one. Let me just add. So anyway, then he walks past the receptionist and yells at her to get me a coffee. And she does some little thing with her hand like, so he get on her nerve. Then we have Danny at the airport and a couple walks up to her arguing. Oh my God. this lady and this man arguing. The woman is doing all the talking, running off her mouth, and she's being very rude to Danny and calls Danny a biatch about 3 different times. And Danny suggests she tries another airline. When she said, I don't know why I flew on this airline, Danny said, well, there's Spirit Airline over there. No, she didn't say Spirit, but she said there's another one, Silver Airline or something. And the woman gets upset and asks for her manager because she wants her to get Danny fired. And the husband or boyfriend, whatever he is, like, please, he's trying to calm her down, and she just going all in. So then Danny fixed her by saying, you know what, ma'am, have you been drinking? And she's like, what? She said, I'm sorry, but we won't be able to accommodate you today. All of a sudden, that lady straightened up, and her man was trying to make it to there. We found out that they were trying to make it to the son's camp. He got into an accident and broke his legs, so they needed to get on a flight and stuff. So Danny said, ma'am, if you would kindly sit your ass down over there and be quiet, I'll see what I could do. I said, oh. And the husband goes, sit your ass down. I was like, oh my God. She calling the man broke. He poor. He couldn't put in first class. All this stuff. You know, he was like, we don't even need seats together. And Danny said, I agree. They're going to be arguing during the whole flight, disturbing all other passengers, if anything. So then when she sits down, Danny goes, oh, she's lovely. And he winks at her and says, oh, she is. And thanks so much. But y'all know what? I think this is the guy that Danny's going to end up messing with or having an affair with. I think that's who she's going to have this affair with. Then we have Aaron. He shows up to the salon, and Pam puts him in his damn place and checks him about wanting to sit and wait for Karen. And Pam said, I'm about to close up. And he's like, that's okay. She's like, He said, look, Pam, what's going on? And she said, if Karen wanted you to know where she was, she would have told you. And I said, come on. That's right. Let them know. Put them straight. Then as Aaron is leaving, Andy comes in as well looking for Karen. And Aaron asks, does she know where Karen is? And Pam is not talking, saying anything. Then Aaron asks to speak with Andy in Karen's office. Pam is like, oh, hell no. Who do you think you are? Going to want to go in her office and stuff. So he said, that's okay. It's going to be a minute. See how he pushes himself on people? You're supposed to be a reverend. You need to act like a preacher or a reverend. Act a little respectful to people's places of business. She is in charge when Karen's not there. Respect her. And Aaron doesn't do that. So Pam is like, oh, no. So he's like, it'll just be a second. They go back there and he starts asking Andy questions about Karen and if she knows some things. And Andy reminds him that she's her best friend and she tells her everything. And then he asks her if Karen was still in love with Zach. And Andy said, I will not be discussing that with you. Then she asked him, did he tell Gary to sue her? And he said, no. And she said, then what did you tell him? You know? And then he started trying to tell Andy if she knew all about Gary's family life and his past, she would understand him more. Andy was like, yada, 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 not trying to hear what Aaron was babbling all about. So, especially about Gary. Then we have, what happened? Then they finished talking and Aaron left the salon and Andy asked Pam, where's Karen? And she says she don't know. And Andy's like, you are lying, you know. Then Pam said, Karen doesn't want me to tell anybody where she is. And Andy get upset and she calls Karen and said, I'm standing here in the salon in front of Pam and she won't tell me where you are and I'm getting worried. Hit me back. But she did ask Pam, is Karen okay? And she said, yes, she's okay. Anyhow, these people tried to play Pam, but Pam did her part this time. She kept her word to Karen. She kept her business private and didn't tell not one of them anything. And I give kudos to her for being a good friend. I'm saying she's going to be a good friend to Karen during this whole process. She really looked out and stepped up. Then we got Zach and Fatima. They go back to the place where they first met. You know, that's when Fatima hit Zach with her car when he was riding his bike going to his first meeting at Chainbreakers. Y'all remember that? And he's saying how his whole life changed from that moment. So he said if things ever get bad, he made a promise. If things ever get bad and they feel they can't get back to each other's hearts, promise that we can always come back here. And then he said he loves her. And then she told him that he is literally all the man she wants and needs. I said, oh, y'all so touching. That's so sweet. And then what happened? Then we have Sabrina at the jail, at the prison, whatever they call it, correction facility, let's say that, being told to get undressed. And she's saying, but I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And she was like, this inmate is being hostile. She's like, I'm not an inmate. And the officer is like, yes, you are an inmate. When you here, you're an inmate. And the officer asked about her hair, if it's not hers, if it's hers or not. And she was like, can you take it out? And she said, it's a process to get them out. Their locks. And she was like, look, if you can't get them out, we'll cut them out. And then she asked Sabrina, said, I want a lawyer. I didn't do anything. I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer now. Because, and then the officer said that Sabrina was being an unruly inmate and told the two officers to take her in there and show her what she's supposed to be doing or something like that. And she's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not an inmate. I want a lawyer, and they wouldn't. I was like, this is ridiculous. She's supposed to get a lawyer before you start cutting people's hair and stuff like that. You have to go through the whole process. You don't even know if this is a legit arrest. Come on. Then it ended with Preston. He comes back to talk to Danny and tells her that he loves her and he knows that she feels something for him too. And he tells her a story about this girl named Mindy, whom he's known since elementary school and who loves him more than anything else. But he says he wanted to see if there was anything else out there because he had been with her all the time, all his life, for a long time. And he said, here I am out here chasing you after you, Danny, and stuff. And now, he really loves her. He said, I really love you. So now he said, I'm going to go back home and ask Mindy to marry me. I'm going to take her back to that same playground and ask her to marry me. He said, unless Danny tells him not to. I said, oh, Danny didn't know what to say. She was quiet. He said, unless she tells him that she doesn't want him to do that. And Danny doesn't answer. And that's how it ended, y'all. That's how it went off. Like I said, the episode was okay. It wasn't like, oh, yeah. It was just okay to me, Hopefully it gets better. Season 5 will get better and pick up. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Put it down in the comment section. And for those of you who have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, I don't know why you're waiting. A lot of you come to my channel and y'all have not subscribed. Please take a moment and subscribe. Help a sister channel grow. Help me get to that 2,000 mark. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. Oh, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, the like button, and write a comment and share the video. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.